Namco.
Dude, it's Namco. Remember Pac-Man? Remember Galaga? Remember Dig Dug? Before Bandai Namco was a thing, they used to be two separate companies. I know that might be a crazy take, but now we're here to witness one of the greatest FMVs of all time in the intro of a video game known as Soul Edge. Better known as Soul Blade. Just kidding, it's better known as Soul Edge. Yes, this is Soul Blade, as they called it in America, in order to avoid trademark copyright issues with another games company that had the word edge in it. No, this game is not edgy. I don't know if I call it wholesome, though, but yes, this was released in 1996 in arcades and also the same year on the PlayStation. It's freaking awesome. This music is awesome. It's great, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. I love FMV. As goofy and corny, as weird. Just so much soul to it. This is the beginning of Soul, like you wouldn't believe, man. This is the first game in the Soul Calibur series, as it would be known later on in the future. I don't know if they knew what kind of game they were going to end up making in the future, or whether or not they had the proper naming scheme for the series, but we're not watching this whole thing. It's good. Just believe me, it's good. Well, first off, we're already getting into the title screen. There's no music. This was originally an arcade game. It was kind of like that, where you just hear noises. Also, it's a Namco thing, where they don't really have much music in the title screen. It's usually in like character select, and obviously once you get into the various modes of this game. This is a 3D fighter, and it has a lot of inspiration from like Samurai Showdown, Battle Arena, Toshiden, another series that Namco made, Tekken, and games like Virtua Fighter. But this is also a weapon fighter. Look at this demonstration. Don't you already love the soul in this game? Look at that knight guy. Who is that? Who is this guy? He seems pretty strong. Look how fast this is for 1996. A 3D fighter, I just want to point out. If you've ever played the first and second Virtua Fighter and played Tekken 1 and 2, this would seem like, wow, we're moving at a lot faster speeds here. I know, it's crazy, but let's get into it. That's a good sound effect. So we're going to go to practice mode first. You're like, why are we going to practice mode? Don't you want to show arcade mode off? There's things in practice mode I want to show off that's better said instead of me trying to fight everyone and destroy them. See, notice how there isn't a timer here? So I can take my time to talk about things. So normally you have, what, 10 characters here. You can unlock 5 more, and I'll put them on the screen, but 3 of them are actually costumes. 2 of them are actually new characters, and I want to say new because one of them is actually the boss character. I think Cervantes is, but actually in this story it's Soul Edge, which is the blade that's technically taken over Cervantes, all right, or corrupting him, whatever you like to call it. The real protagonist in this game is obviously Siegfried. He's like a teenager that's just like, I'm trying to get revenge for my family for what's happened. Get the Soul Edge. You know, one of these mystical blades of history that has power and so on and so forth. Very much German. I think I should put his full name on the screen so you know how German he is. This is also probably one of my favorite characters to play in this game. I'm not saying I don't like anyone else, but it's more interesting for me to play Siegfried because of the great sword dynamic. Hey, wait a minute. Is that the alt costume? Yes. So the CPU will actually choose the alt costumes of all the characters, like Huang, Rock, Taki, Sophatia, Mitsurugi, who looks inspired like Haomaru from Samurai Showdown. Siegfried's alt is straight up red armor, which is an interesting choice, and I think it's much a parallel to what he ends up becoming by the end of this game. Swang Mina, dude, I'm just gonna botch all the names. Li Long, Voldo, and Cervantes. It tells you, obviously, practice Siegfried versus Cervantes, and it tells you what song we're getting into. So the first thing you may or may not notice is the colors. How bright and vibrant it is. Look how bright Siegfried is. It's insane. My goodness, look how bright these colors are. They're very distinct. You can tell based on the character model what this character is, what they stand for, what their moveset is just by looking at them. Siegfried obviously looks young, but Cervantes here looks very old, or at least an elderly man. You got your classic practice mode stuff where you can just hit buttons and it'll tell you how much damage they do. It's pretty simple stuff. But like I said, this game is pretty fast, except for getting off the ground. It's really not that fast. You got regular jump, you got your super jump, you got the jump, you can do a jump strike if you want, and you can do it different ways. There's also a kick button. You also have a block button, which is very interesting in a 3D fighting game specifically, because most of the time you'd probably just press the back button. But it also has something called a guard impact, which is like a parry. So in order to do a guard impact, you have to block and press towards the opponent at the right time. See, it's like a parry. You gotta really time it down. There you go. Look at that. Yeah, there we go. And you can do it from pretty far away. Probably the full distance of his blade. Let's see. Right here. Yep, see, look at that. That's crazy. But I also want to talk about, especially in this game, for 1996, just the environments. Obviously, it's not the greatest looking graphics-wise. That's not the point. But the soulfulness of having water, as you can see, it's water. And platform that actually rocks back and forth is very interesting to me. Because Soul Calibur is really based on being on one entire I wouldn't call it an island, but a platform that has edges so you can knock the opponent off. Compared to something like Tekken, which doesn't have that. It's really just a big open arena that has invisible walls to it. They didn't have to do this. They didn't have to do wrecked ships out here in the middle of this very dank water. These whole environments are crazy. These are all 3D environments. These are not matte paintings or JPEGs or images. Dude, you even see the door in the background. They didn't have to do this, especially for a 3D game. My goodness, there's a lot of soul. Okay, Cervantes, you're getting a little crazy. All right, let's do, there you go. Stand still. I didn't mean to hit the reset button. Oh, well. But I also want to show off arcade mode. There's very special things that happen in arcade mode in this game. We're going to choose Siegfried. I like Siegfried. We're going in as the regular Siegfried, all right?
Battle 1. Fight.
There we go. Look at that costume. My goodness. And as you notice, there's a timer in the middle. There's a time for the amount of time you spent during arcade mode. Obviously, there's the insert coin, just like in arcades. There is a sword meter at the bottom of the health bar. If you see, it's above the 2 dots, which is where your victory will be. It's good with the color scheme, too, because I think they picked yellow so you could differentiate from the environment, too, as well. This gave us crazy quotes. It has voice acting in 1996. Might not seem crazy to you. You might be used to it in games. And it's English voice acting. But the sword meter at the bottom with the fire in the background, it is your weapon strength, essentially. It's your weapon health. If you start blocking, getting hit, it starts getting lower and lower to the point where your weapon just breaks. And then you have to fight unarmed, which is a very interesting mechanic I don't think they bring back in the next game. Thought probably it was a bit ridiculous to feel like getting punished for blocking. And I kind of agree with that concept to a degree. I mean, I don't think the concept's bad, but maybe just do less damage during the block then, right? Because I don't think there's chip damage in this game. Wow, I'm still impressed how quick this game feels for 1996. I don't think there was a lot of 3D fighters during this time. This and maybe Tekken 3 are like pretty good pace to them, despite being 3D fighters, which are known for more plotting during this period of time. Hence Virtua Fighter and Tekken 1 and 2 specifically. But I also want to point out that you could sidestep. Obviously, it's a 3D fighter, right? But you see how quick that sidestep was? Sidestep attack is so quick that it'd be almost near impossible to block. So you really got to position yourself well. Yeah, he's trying to get vengeance for his father. You could also choose the victory poses and stuff like that as well if you wanted to. There's multiple in this game. Like I said, they didn't have to do this. I also think the models are well textured, giving this a very good, authentic look to each character. Very well defined. I'm not saying that just because Taki's on the screen, okay? It's true. Also, if you notice the background models as well, like moving, I can't remember what it's called. I'll probably just put it on the screen, whatever the hell that is. But you got bamboo reeds, you got a nice, like, ancient, what seems to be Asian temple. But like I said, they had moving things in the background they didn't have to do. I say what didn't have to do is in terms of they could have put way less effort and still sold maybe the same amount of copies of this game, but they didn't. They actually were passionate about this project and wanted to put more things in if they could. Like the waving in the background, that could have just been nothing. You know, they didn't have to put any type of effect or motion to that. They could have left it completely straight, but they didn't. Okay, thank you, Siegfried. There's multiple stages, too. And they're beautiful. Look at this. Another rocking stage, but we're going down a river. I am not kidding. We are going down the river on this stage, which is crazy. You never think of moving platform stage in 1996? Some people would think of you mad. I don't. I think of them very bold and brave. See, there's even a bridge you can go underneath. They modeled all of that. It's not just I don't think that's a picture. I don't think it is. I mean, the texture kind of makes it look like a picture, but no, these are 3D models. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I'll just put a Tekken 2 on the screen and then show you this and be like, these are a year apart. Woo! They even knocked him out. Look at him. He's gone. Disappeared into the water. Oh, look. We're going to fight Voldo. This fighting game character is probably one of the most unique fighting game characters ever made. And definitely the most strange and unusual. Look at this map, too, as well. You got the pirate flag in the background waving back and forth. The Jolly Roger. You got all these chains. You got fire in the background. That's insane. That could have just been an image. There's shading in this arena. There's lighting. There's proper shadows that move with your character. Are you kidding me? 1996? What? I'm just blown away at how well this game not just runs and how fast-paced it is, but how well it looks even for its time. See, it changed its victory pose because I held it down.
No one can stop me.
I'm not saying that's the greatest voice acting, but it's goofy. It's got like 90s voice acting for this game. I'm not saying it's always going to be like that. Absolutely not. Look at this stage. Even resembles glass and it's see-through. Oh my goodness, Sophia just perfected me. Thanks, lady. Also, they moved the lip flaps. They didn't have to do that either. They could have just had the voice acting, but no. Oh my goodness. I am trash. Wow, don't allow me to play a fighting game ever again. Renounce my fighting game license. Freaking so potato every time she gets hit. Look at this fighting pose. You can also hit people on the ground if you want to. You can do like a jump stab. Kind of like that, but it's different for each character. Like Mitsurugi will actually stab with his blade. You're insane, Siegfried, for trying to headbutt. Look at that ground attack. I think there's also air combos in this game for 96. There we go. Jeez, the backswing on that one. You could almost see that her weapon got destroyed because she was blocking a whole lot. Oh my goodness, a mirror match. But you get to see Siegfried's ult costume here. Look at that, it's in silver instead of red. You could also play in red if you wanted to. This looks like an entirely new character, though, as well. This could have been Shadow Siegfried or something like that. Wow, I just got it perfect. Here's another new stage. Look, they got trebuchets, which I actually don't think are 3D models. Are those catapults or trebuchets? But the tower back there, the flag on top of that tower, look at those are 3D models. No, thank you, Siegfried. I think I'm doing pretty good for myself. Look at this. This is just like a field that's just propped up higher and higher than anything else in the environment besides those towers in the background. I'm doing my jump slice. Oh, he hit me in midair. See, the problem is when you make tall characters, when they crouch, they can't be at the height at which you're swinging the sword, because I technically hit his head there, but it didn't count for his hurt box, because technically he was crouching. The disparity of me getting a loss and coming back and getting a perfect is insane. You can also skip the quotes so you can get back into the game. Grass kind of looks a bit janky here, obviously, but that might be because I'm running at a higher resolution. I'm not playing it at the perfect value, which it was in arcades and the console itself. Nice try, bro. I'm knocking you off. Woo! Guess who was right? Guess who predicted that one? Yet another new map. I mean, obviously it could look a bit samey because the textures on the platforms and the maps of which we're at, you know, because it's just one big square, and it's like, well, it's kind of obvious what it was going to be. It was either just going to be repeating ground, or it was just going to be a square platform, which it does get crazier later on in Soul Calibur, but we're not there yet. I do like the font, though. It's like ancient or medieval. It tells you of a fantasy world that I really like and enjoy. 40 seconds is crazy low, too. That's how fast-paced the game is. When your timer's default is 40 seconds, you know the gameplay is fast enough to where the people attacking in the game almost never get draws. Especially how much damage you do if you get hit. Oh, he's so fast. That was so fast. Would have to have pre-swung. We had a continue screen there. I like how it's just broken buildings in the background, too, besides this giant. Well, it looks like the Great Wall of China. Also, you can only sidestep down. You can't sidestep up, or else you just jump, because up is the jump button. They couldn't figure out how to do it the other way. See, you try to go up, but you can move sidestep down in order to avoid your opponent's attacks. Oh, we gotta fight Cervantes now. See, we're back to that ship place we were in practice mode, because this is Cervantes' stage. I think stages also reflect the characters in the game. I notice I haven't used the guard impact a whole lot because you just oh my goodness, that spin kick is pretty well animated, actually. These animations on this game are excellent. I gotta say, oh my goodness. That is insane. That's also what Soul Edge does, by the way. Oh, he's gonna do it again. At least there's wind up, so it doesn't feel like complete and utter BS. That had some good range to it. My goodness. Don't get it perfect. No way. Are you kidding me? What is this game? That you get unique 3D cutscenes into the next boss fight. So this is where you see that Cervantes transforms into Soul Edge, which is what the spirit of the sword is. Even unique profile picture, unique background art that I didn't talk about. Look at this stage. This is final boss stages in the 90s. Are you kidding me? This looks insane. The ship is floating. The towers are floating. I think these are all representative of previous maps. This platform is also see-through, sort of. It's not truly opaque, but it's not truly translucent. A bit transparent. Just use all the adjectives. But you see all the debris flying by? They didn't have to do that. This could have just been in the air. So what's unique about this game is that there are two endings you can get into it. Look, he just dissolves. And it happens after the black bars if you press a specific button. I don't think we're going to try to do that because I actually want to show you why it's important that Siegfried goes through what he goes through in this game. Because like I said, he's basically the protagonist. He's the reason why the series goes the way it does. See, there's black bars at the top and bottom. And if I press the button when as soon as those disappear, if I remember correctly, because it does become interactable, but you have to press a specific button. And I don't want to show the alternate ending. I actually want to show the true ending. So you press it, I think, right here, and then you get an alternate ending. But man, these are all animated. They didn't have to do this. It could have been just a screen in this game. It could have just been a piece of art, which we'll do later on, actually. Yo, look at this. He's fighting it. Fight it, Siegfried. Do not pick up the Soul Edge. Look at that transformation. The slow dissolve in. That was sick, dude. Are you kidding me? I love it, man. Oh my goodness, look at that background. Oh, ooh, right in front of the moon too. He looks so good. I love this game. I'm not even nostalgic for it, and I love it. It's insane. Hey, you looks like you might have turned into an evil person, but hey, listen, here's the congratulations screen. But there's more to show in this game. It's not just arcade mode. This is awesome too. This screen looks awesome. I'm just gonna put bad. The narrator's good in this game too as well, or I should say the announcer. Okay, so the next mode I want to show off is Edge Master, and this is very important to what Soul Calibur comes later on as well. It's having an alternate mode in this game. See, I've already done 2 of them already, but we're not gonna do that. Let's open up this 3rd slot. So you can choose any character you like to use in this game, right? For this, it even tells you what weapon they use, and that's important for this mode. See, if you hold down one of the buttons, you see the alt costume. By the history of man becomes a soldier, through the history a soldier becomes a hero. From a bard song in the 14th century, this is the tale of souls and swords transcending the world and all its history for all eternity. Yo, and it shows even a portrait picture. Look at this 3D model. They didn't have to do this, man. This looks so good. Throwing the blades up. Look, those are all his alt swords, by the way. They show you right at the beginning. So in this, you basically just move to a spot and fight an enemy. But there's criteria in order for you to beat that enemy. So you hit book. It gives you like the name, the age of the character, what day they were born, the height, weight, blood type, even family, weapons, style, possessed. So you got all this nice character stuff. If you want to look at it, that's fine. I'm not right now. Bogus survived. I can't believe they put bogus in this translation. Tear this imposter apart. So the red text tells you what you need to do. Cervantes. I just did half health. Also, you only need to win once. Also, you notice there's infinite time. Wow, that was a perfect. That's crazy.
Win.
Excellent stuff. Bang! It even shows you what you win. And now it shows an X on the screen to let you know you got to complete. Look at that! They didn't have to do that. So what they did is they shrunk down the 3D model and put it on the map. Are you kidding me? So now we can actually change the weapon. Look how insane this is. This is not a glitch. This is what it's supposed to be like to show that Soul Edge is that powerful. You can even try out the weapon if you wanted to. Look at this. They just put the model there so you see it swing for you. All right, so we have to look into the book, right? Because the book will tell the story of this mode. Crush all your enemies. Look at Sophatia's shield. Isn't that insane? There's a command list here to see all these moves. Look at this. Insane. We're still going down. We're still going down. Look at all these moves. You also get different grabs in this game. If you grab them from the front, it's its own unique animation. You grab them from the back, it's its own unique animation. You can also break grabs, which is obviously feels like common sense, but for some people, they may not know that. Look at that martial law kick. I just realized that was a martial law kick. Yay, look, we got swords again. I gotta win 4 matches? Are you out of your mind? There you go. You can reset it with my head to start and select. But yes, we have the weapon room here as well. I'm going to show this off real quick. When you're doing Edge Master mode and you complete it, you can just look at all the weapons if you want. See all the individual names. The Omega Sword is crazy. Faust is even crazier of a name. Corey Fuji means something, I don't know, but Faust is obviously symbolic for Siegfried. Very good name choice. Look, oh, you could even look closer at him? Jeez, I actually didn't know that. So you also have survival mode, which means to last as long as you can against as many enemies as possible. Time attack mode is based on doing enough stuff in time. Let's look at the options. You could change difficulty. You could change the ring size if you want to. You can have an 8-meter ring size if you wanted to. You know how insane that is? You can even have a larger map if you want to. If you don't want to have ring outs, that's fine. 5 battle count. You can reduce the health bar. You can gain more health here. Battle time could be infinite instead of the standard 40 seconds. I do like that they changed the color to let you know the difference between what is standard and what isn't. You even have quick instead of arcade for character select. That's insane. Ultra hard? We gotta see ultra hard. First of all, let's do 8 meters at ultra hard. We gotta see that. Also, you have the original version, you have the arcade version, you have the con super session. You have 3 different background musics that you could choose from. 3 different soundtracks. I would listen to a Rage version. Look at that 3D PlayStation model of a controller. Oh, wait, you can press select for joystick mode? Oh my goodness, this is insane. Oh my gosh, she's just swinging all the time. Woo! Okay, it's not so bad on Ultra Hard. It's not so bad. I think I can win at least 1 round. Ooh, this alt costume's good too. What the flip? He looks like Dracula, though. A little too much, I think. But you can see how the cape is modeled and the symbol on the back. It just looks so good. This game looks so good for its time. It's unbelievable. Wow, okay, Ultra Hard's easy on stage 1 at least. So I argue this might be easier or harder depending how... Oh my goodness, see how high I went? They didn't have to animate that. I'm surprised they're not guard impacting. Oh, that was a grab. Okay, fair enough. Will you challenge the enemy again?
8.
The soul enhanced.
5, 4, 3, 1.
The legend will never die.
There you go. That's a game over screen for you so you can see it. Well, this has been Soul Blade, Soul Edge. I do recommend it once in your life to play this for like 10 minutes. You don't have to play it forever, but go through arcade mode once and maybe try Edge Master mode, and that's about it. Well, this has been a review of Soul Blade. Have an excellent one. And remember, the legend never dies.